So, welcome to stone hands, to the hands of stone that create a reality, the shape, the mold of our own future. Today I wanted to talk to you about the sounds of the nature. How often I spend my time dwelling on the vast fields and forests of our land. How I travel to different countries and I feel the sense of belonging, not in a city, but in a nature. In the peak of nature is the place where a person will find their golden statue, where a person can really relinquish the real potential of one's inner self. I remember when I was in Italy and I only had heard about cypress trees. So I was walking around, then I'm starting to see those pine cones of the cedar cones, and I see there's this cypress, huge and beautiful. And I greeted the beautiful magical tree. I spoke some words and I listened, and I sat down and I just observed the nature around me and felt blissful. Like for example, if we bring two examples, the Buddha, he became enlightened when he was sitting under a lotus tree. I reckon without the tree, he would never ever made it that far. And in the Bible, the son of Adam and Eve, Cain, who obeys the God, the kingdom of God, and goes to found the first city where a man can live. He was the creator of civilization, the one who brought human away from the bliss of the nature. He destroyed the dream of creating a garden of paradise, the Eden. These are just examples, and they may be stories, but they are important. Because when I look around, when I see trees, when I see the sun, the stars, the clouds, I see words in them. They are a Bible for me. They are a poetry. When one learns to speak the language of the nature, one never has to disappear or go far away from oneself anymore. When one begins to realize we are one with the planet, we become great. Like the story when I was in the Ecolisa gathering. Ecolisa is a grassroots, or it's an institutional organization in Brussels, and it gathers up the grassroots knowledge from different sustainable, green energy, eco-village, etc. movements that are trying to turn our society back to the nature, that we would consume less energy, we would use less plastic, and we would be more mindful about our impact on the planet. So I was in the General Assembly of the Ecolisa, and all the people talking there about like how should we name our goals, what should be the mandatory requirement or the statement of our organization. And so there was this one sentence, like we did this, do you agree or do you disagree? It was some kind of sophisticated forum method to find the right answers for the questions that were imposed upon the gatherers. So So there was this sentence that a human should be mindful about the resources of the planet and shepherd them good willingly. Something like that. Not exactly. And most people in that room agreed. But then there was me and another man. And I was totally shocked. And I had least experience in that room, I reckon. There were some people who had been doing that institutional policies for EU and other stuff with eco-villages and so on for decades, for 20 years, etc. And I was there just telling them what is really morally sound to do. So I spoke to them, to the whole hall, that we humans, we are nothing facing the Mother Earth, the Gaia. We are just a blink of an airdrop. We are dust. And we cannot say that we have rights, or we have even a right to say that something that we take from the planet is a resource, that it is made for human consumption. No, human consumption of Earth's resources is not the right thing. It is not the right mindset, because we must take care of the planet and use her gifts sparingly, and be mindful about every action that we do. So then we changed that sentence in that in that statement, and everything was fine. But the thing that encompasses me when I read the nature's Bible, when I read the nature, is the sounds, like how the vowels, like oo, ah, oo, are created when we listen, like the old alphabet of the Egyptians. They called it the birds' language, that the birds had given them their language and their alphabet. And the old Finno-Ugric tribes and the Estonians, Finnish included, we though, till this day, that birds taught us how to speak. Our spoken language is the language of the birds. And when I go by a stream, I hear it, or I hear the wind and the leaves, or the wind and the branches when it's still spring. I hear the cracking of the ice when it's winter. I hear footsteps on the snow. I hear the rain falling. These are sounds, these are rhythms, these are the base structures from which we are created. And modern science has proved that all the plants have a sound, they make noise, and it's possible to hear them. And then there's this eco-village, Damanhur, in the north of Italy, and they have devised a device, yes, an apparatus that you stick to a plant and into the soil, and it starts to play music. And after a while, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, the plant recognizes that it is doing the sound, that the plant is creating the sound, and the plants start jamming around, start playing their own music. You can choose different styles and like different sounds, and piano or organ, etc., guitar, and the plants start jamming around. And then there's this one really inspirational woman, Merkaba Soundhealing Ltd, who is an eco-village educator and a former professional opera singer. And she travels around with her plants in the pots and with those devices, and she makes concerts. She sings with the plants that are jamming with her. And the plants are like, that's fascinating, that's beautiful. And some people would say, oh, it's a placebo. But no, when you experience it and when you see it and when you conduct some experiments, you will begin to see that is real, that is true, how plants behave, and plants can hear the sounds. Like there are many experiments that plants in a greenhouse, they were played some classical music, metal music. Some people were speaking words to the plants, and plants were driving, or this thing that plants are channeling our human life energy into themselves. So they are thirsty suckers. No, they are just vivid, beautiful beings. Okay, now my consciousness is hurting a little bit because I'm talking to you next to a plum tree that I cut back a lot just 2 days ago. So I'm in a really dangerous position at the moment, feeling guilty that I did a lot of harm to the tree, or actually the tree was dying out by itself, and I had to cut some branches that there would be clarity. Sometimes we need to help domesticated trees and plants. And the thing about the sounds, when we are in the cities, we hear this noise pollution, we hear cars, we hear people. People can be really nice to listen to, of course, and cars also. When you have 1996, 1999 V8 Jaguar and you put the full throttle on, that's a great sound. But if you have this constant noise coming from in the city, it's exhausting. But when you are sleeping in a forest or walking in a forest, the stimulation from the plants, from the audible sounds and from the non-audible sounds, creates a huge benefit for the nervous system, because the trees and the plants are connected to our heart, and stimulating our field of our own presence, the self-regulatory well-being. And there's then this thing, when you touch the ground, you are grounded, and the stress, the free radicals begin to dissolve. Even when you are near trees and just hanging around, that's even beneficial. So when I'm talking to you, I'm getting many benefits. For example, I'm near trees, so I'm just getting this tree field sucked into myself, and the tree is getting my attention, so the tree is also behaving like, whoa, what's going on, great. And another benefit that I'm speaking, of course, so I'm learning to express my words even in a more sophisticated way, that it would be more clear, more understood, that my words would not be an understatement, but a reality of a clarity. That's that. And I'm getting some sun from behind the cloud. I'm still seeing the circle of the sun, so I'm getting my first sun on in the spring. Yeah. But yeah, my challenge to you: go outdoors and be near a tree. Don't hug a tree, you'll be a tree hugger. No, but be near a tree, enjoy your time, and you will see amazing results, how your inner chemistry begins to change. So see you next time.